The Gosselin family from Jon and Kate plus 8 looked perfect on screen. 8 kids, a bustling home, and controlled chaos made for must-watch TV. But behind the scenes, things weren't just messy, they were disturbing. Now, Hannah Gosselin is breaking her silence. After years of hiding the truth, she's stepping forward. Not for fame, but to tell the story that was never shown. This isn't drama, it's survival. She's done protecting the people who hurt her. What you're about to hear isn't gossip. It's the truth that was edited out of the final cut. Until now. From secret journals to courtrooms and a curated media story, Hannah's experience has been buried. Kate forced her children to choose sides. Hannah chose her dad, and the world misunderstood. To outsiders, it looked like rebellion. A teenage daughter leaving her mom's house to live with Jon? Easy to judge. But the truth was deeper and darker. Now, one of the Gosselin kids is revealing what it really felt like. No headlines, no spin, just a young woman risking everything to say what happened. And once you hear her story, everything changes. The question isn't why she left, it's how she endured so long. Hannah didn't abandon her family, she escaped. Not from love, but from control. She ran to the only parent who didn't yell. What viewers saw as chaos, she remembers as control. Even bathroom breaks were scheduled around the cameras. Meals were staged, emotions rehearsed. Crying on cue wasn't optional, it was required. If someone missed a line or a smile, the cameras stopped, and Kate's anger started. Off-screen, discipline turned into something harsher. This wasn't a bad day, it was the norm. Hannah says the crew knew, they saw it, but they edited it out, softening the truth. Kate's anger, cropped out. The fear, hidden. The show had to protect the brand of a picture-perfect family, even if it meant silencing the kids. If a child flinched or hesitated, it wasn't seen as normal. It was a threat to the image. And that image had to be protected at any cost. Hannah remembers being yelled at until someone broke. Then, just enough kindness to get back on camera. That's what no one saw. Not in promos, not in behind-the-scenes clips. Just kids losing their privacy, innocence, and sometimes their safety. To us, it looked like family. To them, it felt like a script. Every smile was rehearsed. Every breakdown, scheduled. Anything real that didn't fit the narrative, deleted. But the cameras weren't the only tools of control. According to Hannah Gosselin, her mother Kate kept detailed journals, not for memories, but as records of every mistake, bad mood, and moment of defiance. These weren't parenting notes. They were evidence. Logs used not to guide, but to justify discipline. When Hannah was old enough to read them, she found her name next to the word rebellious. She didn't know what it meant then. She does now. In Kate's world, independence was insubordination. The journals tracked it all, creating a paper trail to support punishments, and eventually, a legal narrative. When custody battles erupted, those journals became weapons in court. Hannah wasn't a daughter, she was a problem to be corrected. Every step towards selfhood was recorded, judged, and held against her. There was no space for growth, only compliance. Finding that label, rebellious, was a turning point. It showed Hannah that being herself wasn't allowed, that every moment of resistance had been documented as proof she needed fixing. After Hannah left Kate's custody, the media took over. They painted her as troubled, a difficult teen. But Hannah says that wasn't the truth. It was spin. She had no diagnosis, no therapy, no help, just exile. The story wasn't about a teen acting out. It was about a girl trying to escape a home where her identity was under siege. Tabloids relied on sources and speculation, never facts. They labeled her, pathologized her, but never asked why she left. The truth? She wasn't rebellious. She was desperate for peace. And that false narrative didn't just hurt, it isolated. While she started over with Jon, she was painted as unstable. Attempts to reach her siblings were met with silence, not from hate, but fear. Remaining loyal to Kate meant staying silent. Speaking out meant becoming the enemy. So Hannah faced it alone, misunderstood by the public, abandoned by the system, but not broken. Her story is simple, not a cry for attention, a plea for truth. She wasn't troubled, she wasn't difficult. She was trying to survive a home that had become unbearable. The siblings who stayed, they're not allowed to speak. After leaving Kate's home, Hannah reached out. What she got wasn't distance, it was silence. One text came back after weeks. "I can't talk about this. Please stop." No conversation, no comfort, just a wall. She believes that silence isn't natural, it's enforced. Some siblings, she says, are bound by NDAs or warned not to talk. Kate's team allegedly used legal threats and verbal pressure to keep family matters sealed. Even babysitters and friends weren't allowed to speak publicly. That fear played out in public too. On the Today Show, Kate appeared with her 13-year-old twins. When they hesitated, she snapped, "Matey, your words, spit it out." Matey, visibly uncomfortable, said Kate had already spoken for them. To Hannah, that wasn't just awkward, it was familiar. She says the pressure to smile, to perform, to never contradict the story, was constant. Speaking freely wasn't an option. Speaking out meant punishment. She doesn't believe her siblings protect Kate out of loyalty, but fear. Fear of legal backlash. Fear of emotional fallout. Fear of saying the wrong thing and paying for it. Even after leaving, that control lingers. Growing up together doesn't mean healing together. For those still inside the system, speaking freely still feels dangerous. She doesn't blame them. She worries for them. She hopes one day the fear breaks and they remember they weren't alone in that house. Their silence isn't just painful, it's proof. Because when siblings can't even say, "I'm okay," it's not about distance, it's about control. That control still runs deep. But in private moments with her father, Jon Gosselin, she found something rare: honesty. No excuses, no spin, just quiet admissions. He told her he should have acted sooner, that he stayed too long in the spotlight, thinking he could manage the chaos, that he should have shut the cameras off and fought harder. But back then, he was scared. Of Kate, of the courts, of losing the little time he had left with his kids. He didn't fight like he should have, and he lives with that. Hannah doesn't call him a hero. He didn't always get it right, but he never lied to her. While the world chased headlines, Jon chose truth and slowly rebuilt trust. She once asked why he didn't go back to court for all 8 kids. His answer wasn't angry, it was exhausted. He said he didn't think he had a chance, that he was drained and feared it would make things worse. She didn't love the answer, but she respected it, because it was real. Their bond today isn't perfect, it's honest. He admits he should have known better, but what mattered most was that he showed up, listened, and told the truth. Compared to the silence from others, his honesty stood out. "He's not perfect," Hannah says, "but he didn't lie to me." After everything, that truth became her shield. Maybe not then, but definitely now. She watched producers look away as they broke down on camera. The boom mics stayed up, the cameras rolled, and the adults hired to protect them did nothing. Emotional meltdowns, punishments, even physical discipline, all happened within arm's reach of the crew. Yet, the red recording light never went off. She recalls how the crew moved on seamlessly, one moment crying in a bedroom, the next pretending to laugh at the kitchen table. No one asked if they were okay. No one said, "Cut." They filmed it all like it was normal. What hurt most wasn't the punishments. It was how the show masked them. Conflicts were edited out and replaced with scenes of hugs or birthday parties. The producers weren't neutral observers. They were architects of a false reality. She tried to opt out of filming after punishments, but the schedule always came first. "We just need 5 more minutes," they'd say, and they always used the footage. Saying no too often was called an attitude problem. Living in that house felt like living in a dollhouse they didn't control. Lights, cameras, schedules, everything staged. Thin walls meant everyone heard the crying, but no one came to help. The chaos viewers saw was a carefully crafted illusion built on silence and compliance. Her voice tightens. This wasn't reality TV. It was a prison set. The people who should have protected us chose the shot instead. No one said, "Cut," or "That's enough." Now, she's finally speaking out. "People think I ran away. I didn't. I ran to the only parent who wasn't screaming. Hannah broke her silence with her own voice, not in court or tabloids. It's the quiet truth of a daughter punished for choosing peace over chaos. The public thought Jon kidnapped or coached her, but she made a choice to survive. Life in Kate's house wasn't just loud, it was rehearsed and fake. Jon was steady, the only option that felt like breathing again. Leaving Kate meant losing nearly everything, 6 siblings and her home. By 2021, she and Colin lived with Jon officially, but emotionally, nothing was settled. Jon hasn't spoken to the other kids in years. His door is open, but no one's come through. Hannah lives with that, peace and loss. She doesn't blame her siblings or claim heroism, but she wants to set the record straight. She didn't break the family. She stopped pretending it wasn't broken. For years, silence was her shield, but it came at a cost. Panic attacks, insomnia, and distrust. The hardest part was protecting others and the family image while her truth was buried and replaced by a false story of a troubled child. They never wanted her truth, only her to play a part. Now, she's done playing. No lawyers, no PR. Just her, a phone, and raw honesty. If this ruins me, fine, but you must know what they did. It's not revenge. It's revealing a hidden truth. The cost of silence was physical and mental, something she carries daily. She thought silence protected her family, but only she suffered. This is the end of her silence. The time to protect others at her expense is over. This is her truth. No one will rewrite it. Who do you believe in this family saga? Share your thoughts below, like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.